Hello everyone, welcome to another video on how to create a YouTube channel for computer-aided design. This is part one of two on videos about comments that people post on your channel and on your videos. First, I want to say that the overwhelming majority of comments that I get and that you will probably get are positive and supportive. Someone will be thanking you for the video that you have posted, or someone is probably asking for clarification on one of the points that you made in the video. That is all fine and great. Most time you will not have any issue with the comments that you get, but that isn't always the case. And so what you want to do is you want to learn how to ignore the comments that aren't good for you, that aren't healthy for you. It is the internet, and so people are used to giving their opinions, and people tend to forget that there's an actual person on the receiving end of the comments that they are writing. And there are a lot of people who will say something in a comment on a video that they would never say to you if they were right in front of you in real life. So let me tell you a little bit about my story with YouTube regarding the comments. About 7 months into my channel, I actually quit. I actually stopped making videos. And that was because of the comments. I got tired of the things that people were saying and posting on my videos. You know, stuff about me, stuff about my content, stuff about the software, of course. And so I said, this just isn't worth it to me. It's not helpful. It's not healthy. So I stopped, and I'd stopped making videos for about 6 weeks. And then I went to LiveWorks. And at LiveWorks, that's where I actually met a lot of my audience. People recognized me, or they found out that I was the one behind the channel. And people were coming up to me and thanking me, and they were really grateful, and they were awesome. And I met lots and lots of people who were just a joy to be around. And that made me realize that's the real audience. Those are the people that I am making videos for, not the people who are being very critical in the comments section. And so, again, 99% of the people who watch your video are probably never ever going to write a comment anyways. And the people who do write a comment most of the time, they are supportive. And by the way, if people aren't writing comments on the videos, that's fine. That's okay. I do not expect people to write comments just to write comments. As a matter of fact, a couple years ago, even probably longer than that, I stopped with the usual spiel that people put in videos about, hey, write a comment. You know, write a comment if you want to. If you don't, life goes on. So in this video, I want to talk about 6 specific tips to help you with the comments that you will get on your videos. And tip number 1, decide what kind of tone that you want for your channel and for the comments section. So for example, for my channel, I want a comment section that is going to be helpful, that's going to be supportive to the audience, and also a place where people can get assistance, where people can get help. And so those are the kinds of comments that I like. And so I want to have the channel be a positive resource for training and support. And so that leads to tip number 2. If you get any comments that don't support the tone that you're trying to create on your channel, delete them. I will delete a comment in a second if I find that it is just not helpful to the audience, if it's just not helpful to me. There are a lot of people who come to the channel who just want to flame. And sometimes I will get a comment where it's just like, holy cow, this person wrote paragraphs of material. They spent a few minutes writing this comment. And then I just delete it. So tip number 3, you want to decide how much you want to give of yourself to the comment section. So one thing that I have mentioned multiple times is that, I have kids. I have a life outside of the channel. It's not the most important thing that I have going on for me. And so I do check the comments a few times a day. You can get the YouTube Studio app on your phone. And so it's really easy when you pick up your phone. Hey, check out the comments section, see if someone's written anything. And I will reply, especially if it's an easy question to respond to, because a lot of times people are looking for support, and especially if I am on the light rail, which is the public transportation system here in Seattle, or if I'm waiting for my kids to get out of school. Hey, those are great times for me to write a response to a comment. But sometimes I will get comments where, again, where people are asking for support, but it's to a level that I can't give them. So sometimes people will write a really specific comment to a video that I made years ago, and it'll be like, hey, in this video, you did this particular thing, and why did you do that? How did you do that? And I've made so many videos at this point that I don't remember my videos. Sometimes I'll go looking for a subject and find, oh my goodness, I made a video on that. I don't even remember that video that I made on that subject. I mean, I'm over 1,200 videos for the channel right now, and I've made a whole bunch of other different videos for other stuff in my life. So you just forget what videos that you have. But anyhow, some of the questions that I get would necessitate me going back and rewatching one of my previous videos that might be 15, 20, 25 minutes long. And I just don't have time for that. So, those comments, unfortunately, I don't get to. And so there will be other certain areas where people will ask stuff of you in the comments, and, I'm just not able to help people out in those areas for whatever reason, especially when I've got bigger priorities like, again, my kids. Let's see. Oh, tip number 4. I mentioned that, again, any comments that are not helpful, that are not healthy, you want to delete or get rid of. And one way to help those from even coming up to you is by making use of the filters that they have in your setup. And so, for example, an easy one for me, every curse word, if you just filter out the curses, that'll take care of a lot of the negative comments. And also there are other words like, sucks, blows, stuff like that. If you filter out those words, then that helps keep the real, potty mouth and vulgar and just, flaming comments from showing up on the channel. Another one related to using the filters, disable hyperlinks in the videos. And I know that can be discouraging for people because they might want to link to another video on YouTube or another video from my own channel. But the problem is, if you enable hyperlinks, once one of those internet robots figures that out, you are going to get inundated with a ton of spam comments, typically from these like Russian bot farms, and you'll get a bunch of comments with links to dating sites or whatever. So trust me, you want to disable hyperlinks in the comments on your channel. Okay, tip number 5, do as I say, not as I do. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you are supposed to do for comments on your channel. I don't do all of them, but they say that, you really should like every comment. Some people even heart every comment and they reply to every comment. Again, I don't do that, but if you are starting a brand new channel, hey, if you are trying to increase the engagement and increase the reach of your videos, you'll definitely want to do those things like heart, like, and reply. And the last tip that I want to mention in this video, tip number 6, the greatest invention in the entire history of the universe, in my opinion, is hide user from channel in the YouTube studio. This is just absolutely phenomenal. I love that YouTube created this, and make ample use of hide user from channel. If you are not familiar with what this does, this makes it so that if someone writes a comment on your channel, they are the only person who is going to see it. So for example, if they go to the comment section on your channel from their account, they'll be able to see their comment on there, but it'll never go to you and no one else will be able to see that comment. And so what happens is you will get some people who are just, they're just posting over and over again. And I usually give people a couple chances where it's just like, if I see a name and they write a very negative comment, I will delete it the first time. The second time, I might give them a warning and say, I'm really not appreciating that. That's not the kind of thing that I want here. You do it one more time, I'm going to give you a shadow ban, as they sometimes refer to it. There's another phrase for it, but I forget it at the moment. But, I might warn them, but otherwise it's just hide user from channels. Like, I just don't need that kind of influence on the channel. And so the person thinks that their comments are appearing on videos, but they're not. Again, I love it. Hide user from channel. So anyhow, those are 6 tips for the comment section for your YouTube channel. In the next video, in part 2, I am going to tell some stories about some of the more perplexing, unexpected, and frankly, jaw-dropping comments that I have gotten on the channel, because it's stuff that, again, I was just like, wow, where the heck did this come from? Maybe you'll find it interesting. Maybe you'll find it helpful in terms of starting your channel. Anyhow, there you have it. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.